How important is sex in a relationship? Sexual compatibility is more important than the act itself. If the pair of you are completely incompatible in terms of your desires, libido, kinks, etc., then it's not going to work out. If you're mostly similar and are willing to communicate openly and properly with each other, then the relationship is far more likely to work. This is very contextual. More important is both partners feel they have a mutual understanding and level of fulfillment from that aspect of the relationship. I enjoy sex. But if something happened that prevented sex with my wife, I would still love her and be faithful. Our relationship is much more than just sex. But that is after 14 years of marriage, 3 kids, and some major events. We are in this journey together no matter what. I think it's important to have that intimate, physical bond with your partner. However, I believe that it also completely depends on who you're with. It's important your sex drives are similar. What's most important is that you're sexually compatible, like both have higher sex drives or lower sex drives. If you're not, it may cause a lot of strain and compromising that will affect the relationship. Every relationship is different as to whether it's important or not. To me personally, it's not important. I would have a relationship even if sex was not involved. But a lot of people consider it a crucial part of the relationship. While the act itself might not be super important, the intimacy that goes along with it is very important. Also, the feeling of being desired is a very important aspect to a healthy relationship, and from things I have read, it's the #1 reason people cheat. If they aren't feeling desired by their partner, they will tend to look for that elsewhere. So the ignored partner might be swayed to cheat if someone else is providing them with that desire they aren't getting from their partner. As important as the people in the relationship deem it to be. So that ranges from critically important, and validly so, to completely unimportant, and validly so. It's very important to me and my so. We value our time. And the physical being together. I don't want just sex. I want sex with her. Intimacy. It's a physical expression of how we feel about each other. It is important to be with someone that enjoys being intimate with you. Someone that is passionate about you in every aspect. Not that everything has to be sexual, but an inviting smile, a hug, or a glance that makes her want to spend time with you. Small for me. Physical attraction is nice. But sometimes you just can't. We haven't shagged in months. Too many issues with her uterus. And obgyn stuff. She just got her uterus removed 2 weeks ago. We still have a great time. And it hasn't been a bummer, not one bit. Interesting question. From limited experience, a loving relationship where you're passionate about each other equates to good sex. I'm sure there's instances where couples are sexually incompatible. But personally, even sex isn't all about sex. For instance, even if a partner had issues getting hard or say frequently finished quickly. Personally, it's as much about the foreplay and attentiveness before and cuddling after. That even if things go wrong, I still enjoy the intimacy. Intimacy to me is what just straight up sex can be to others. Sex without intimacy personally would be worse than being intimate without sex. TLDR. Feelings equals basis for good everything. No feelings equals doesn't matter how great the sex, I'd still not enjoy it. Discussions should be had before real commitment to lay out expectations from both partners. That way there are less surprises. Another thought. Someone on Reddit once commented something akin to, "You wouldn't buy a house just because you like the toilet. But you also certainly wouldn't buy a house without one." I think they nailed it. The drive matters. When a drive dies on one partner but not the other, it can cause a lot of stress. I just got my sex drive back after 10 years on birth control. As the partner who had the lower drive, it was really stressful for me too. I felt inadequate and I knew he was sad about it. Things are so much better now that I'm back to my normal. Imagine having sex LMAO. Depends on you and your partner. Someone once said to me, if the sex is good, it's 10% of the relationship. If the sex is bad, it's 90% of the relationship. It's actually, sex is 10% of a good relationship and 90% of a bad relationship. It definitely is important that my partner's drive is at least close to mine. And in the last year and a half I've been lucky as mine has begun to chill out and become something more in line with my wife's. Sex is also more than just in. So while my wife's drive may still not be the same as mine, she'll still indulge me with my more particular tastes when the urge is there. I guess really, the amount of sex isn't as important as having a relationship where you can openly discuss your wants and needs and mutually hear each other without judgment. I can't imagine trying to maintain a long-term serious relationship with someone where I didn't feel comfortable at least discussing weird sex stuff. It depends on the person. Having a high sex drive, I'd be miserable being paired with someone who found once a month acceptable. For me, it is hugely important. For others, it isn't. That answer varies from person to person. For me, just isn't important. It doesn't matter. My spouse is Azul and I have a pretty low sex drive. I have vibrators to take care of myself when I need to. Our emotional intimacy is excellent. And that's all I need. I know this is probably a bit more boring an answer that people might look for. But I believe it depends on the relationship. Some people have sex as a high priority. Others do not. The key to this, and most other aspects of a relationship, really, is communication. As someone who has never been in a relationship nor had sex, it's interesting reading the vastly different opinions on this. I won't pretend to know how a relationship works. But all I do know is it's not sex I want. It's that close intimacy. So to answer the question, for me, not at all. You can jerk off and have that Azul urge be gone, but you can't do something so simple to get over wanting to snuggle up and watch a movie with someone you care about. Then again, I'm just a 31-year-old idiot who has missed out on many things. So take that with a grain of salt. I have a pretty good relationship with my dog, but we never discuss sex. For me, it's very important. For my partner of 20 years, it's an awful imposition. Something that she has told me she could do without for the rest of her life, and makes me a sex obsessed pervert. Sleep is not everything, but if it's out of whack, it can ruin you. That. I have needs. You have needs. If our needs are on the same page, great. If not, hey, good luck to you and good luck to me. I think sex can be an important component. However, I think it has more to do with the regular physical affection to one another. Think Morticia and Gomez Adams. Loving and physical affection. I think it helps to secure bonds between the partners and gives stress-releasing hormones in the brain to help each other through difficult situations. Family relationships. Not at all. Friendships. Generally not. Spouses and significant others. Very much. Gonna buck the trend here and the downvotes, but I can only be honest. For me, personally, not a lot. Maybe it's getting older. Maybe it's declining testosterone, but from over a decade ago sex has gradually declined in its importance to me. When you first get together with someone you naturally want to bang them as much as you can, but once the honeymoon period ends and the infatuation wears off, sex just really doesn't interest me like it used to. I'm fine with once or twice a month, if that. But generally after the first few months of a relationship or so, 99% of the time I'm having sex, it's just to please her. Not because I especially want it. And yes, this has led to significant problems in my last few relationships. Depends on what kind of relationship you have. If you don't have much of anything else going for it, then you might have to rely on sex. If you have plenty of other stuff going for you, then you don't need it as much. If the relationship consists of a guy coming over to mow your lawn, then it's not important at all. Unless you're broke. Our dead bedrooms is a good sub to show how important it is. They have way more issues than just lack of sex. They just have a hard time admitting it. Laughs in Azul. I've been looking for a girl not interested in having sex. Sometimes I wish I could feel that way and be happy with that. That's a gift. Azul sees a new Reddit post. How important is sex in a relationship? Asterisk. Cracks knuckles. Begins to type response with S-less vigor. Asterisk. Well. As in Azul. Asterisk. Whimsical hand flourish. It's not. Asterisk. Go figure. Thanks for chiming in, Azuls. Very. I like sex. In my relationships 0%. For me personally, not at all. My wife and I are both lesbians who are Azul partly due to trauma and partly due to meds and partly due to no real interest in sex. I have been missing intimacy. But we recently started giving each other baths. Like I'll sit on the side of the tub and wash her with a loofah. Exfoliate her legs. Wash her hair. It's so soothing for both of us. We'll just talk while we do it. It's so relieving and I feel so close to her. She'll also sit in the bathroom with me while I shower sometimes. Being naked together while not being at all Azul makes me love her more and more. It's nice. She's the best. If there isn't sex and attraction involved, we're basically just good friends. Exactly. My wife complains that we might as well be flatmates and I'm here thinking I make a move nearly daily while you have never allowed us to have sex more than once a month. A relationship is like a house and sex is like the bathroom. I like the analogy, but I'd go with kitchen. A bathroom is an essential to everyone, but the value of a kitchen can vary. Some people are entirely uninterested in cooking for themselves and are happy to live with a kitchenette or less, while others consider it a basic function and unthinkable to live without. Personally, it's extremely important. I once ended a 7-year relationship because his libido was extremely low compared to mine and I got tired of constant rejection. I need sex, physical intimacy, and orgasms for a romantic relationship to work. I would know if I had either. As an Azul man. Not at all. Truly what matters is compatibility, communication, and comfort. I might not engage in sex, but I make sure my partner's needs are satisfied in other ways. All relationships will have some degree of compromise after all. It helps my partner has a low sex drive. Edit. Seeing all these comments, I should mention, my partner and I are very intimate. We like to cuddle together, legs wrapped together, the constant holding my hand or grabbing my arm when she has a chance. I also go out of my way to kiss her and whisper loving words in her ear. Sex is not at all important, but intimacy is very important. Same here. A common trend that I'm seeing in this thread that I find a bit disturbing is how many people say that they need sex in their relationship or else they might as well simply be friends or roommates. If someone's relationship is that lacking in emotion and romance and is lacking both to such a degree that practically anyone could fill that spot, well, I think that a lack of sex might be more of a symptom than the disease. For me, it's the one thing that the two of you have together that is yours and yours only. It is very important. If you manipulate your partner or guilt them into sex, you're an asshole. This isn't a sex negative comment. People really out here doing sum it up over sex.